Hey everybody, welcome to Survivor NSFW. I just want to give you a quick heads up on what you're about to listen to because it's a little different than our normal Survivor coverage. We've got Danger Dave Ball coming on, and he does talk a little bit about Survivor Samoa, but Dave is also a really intelligent guy and has a lot of perspective he wants to give us, and we get into some philosophy, some religion, and a lot of his thoughts about what's going on in today's world. So just a quick heads up on what you're about to listen to, because after the Survivor Samoa coverage, we go pretty deep. He's even got some guitar lessons and thoughts on TikTok. Welcome to Survivor NSFW. Tonight, joining me, Matt and Johnny, we've got a special guest. His sport is making love. You may know him as Danger. You definitely don't know him as just Dave. He's here to drop some knowledge on us tonight. We've got from Survivor Samoa, Dave Ball. Dave, how are you doing, man?
Hey, Zach. How you doing tonight? We're having a good time, man. We're already talking about our...
Well, I mean, I was like about ready to text Zach before we actually went live. I'm like, I really hope you're fucking recording this shit, because we're getting the best fucking OG stories about old Kiss albums, Kiss 8 tracks, the full 9, Johnny Fairplay. When he,
Look, man,
5 years old, had the shit.
Tape is cheap. Tape is cheap. You always roll. You're always rolling. Johnny.
Hey, you came right into it, man. I didn't know.
And now it's digital. Jesus Christ, it doesn't cost you anything, dude. What are you doing, man?
Well, now that Zach has been lambasted by Danger Dave, I think this is the greatest podcast ever.
I love it.
People wonder, they're just like, you had the two amigos, Johnny Fairplay and Matt Bischoff. Why is Zach Hacker a part of it? I'm like, he's the brains of the operation.
Apparently not. Dad. When do you want me to hit record? Whatever, dude. God bless. I'm just roasting your balls, dude.
Nah, I love you, Dave. You're all good.
Survive a minute on the island.
Jeez.
Just kidding, Hoss. Relax. Hey, look, man. Look, you don't want to go. Everybody who thinks they want to go on Survivor, don't go. It's not good. It's a bum fights, but for middle class people, man. It's not.
Did you watch Bum Fights when it came out?
No, because I have a soul.
Oh,
Plus, I was homeless at the time, so I didn't have anywhere to watch that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Didn't know where to be recruited, I guess.
Yeah, right. I didn't know where to be recruited. No, I'm not enough. I had stopped self-medicating by then, because I'm pretty sure. What was the reward? It was like $100 and a case of beer or something like that.
I think a lot of those guys didn't get paid on Bum Fights.
Shocker, even better. God damn,
especially the ones that participated in the crocodile hunter segments. Yeah, I don't think those guys.
I don't even know. I don't know.
It was rough. They would tag them. They're like, look at this one. Oh, he's a wily one, and they would tag. It was very bad. Like, it does not.
It's horrible,
hold up.
Dude.
It didn't hold up well then. 2020 Bum Fights. Whew, that is no bueno.
Well, it's Survivor's Bum Fights, so. I mean, it is. They just, instead of dangling $100 in a case of beer, they dangle $1 million in front of some middle class people, and they tear each other to ribbons. It's bum fights on acid, man. It really is.
I mean, were you a fan of? Did you ever watch the show? I mean, we know, like, I applied to be on the show. I was a big fan. Johnny was recruited. Were you even into it, or did you just happen to get on?
Again, I was homeless for like a decade, and that started a couple years before Survivor was even on the air. So by the time, like, I auditioned for, when I say I auditioned, I was in the hotel for Survivor China, which was 2 years before Samoa, and I can't remember. I was running lights. I was living in my van, and I was running tech. I was a technical director at Improv Olympic and Second City Improv Theaters. And when I was at Second City, I had a staff of about 20 interns to little, gopher bitch bullshit that I'd had 2 or 3 a night. And one of my interns they would do it for free in exchange for free classes, but for money, they had to get a straight job while they're auditioning for acting roles and everything. And a guy named Mike McClendon, great guy, very funny, very talented actor. He was a huge Survivor fan, and he was working for SEG. It's SEG, right? Survivor Entertainment Group. Yep. He was working for them in casting. He was just doing PA stuff and casting, and he got me a phone interview with Lynn. And so I did the phone interview, and she was not impressed, but she brought me in anyway. And then I kind of lit him up in in the videotaped interview, and then they brought me back for tests and all that shit, and then they brought me back to the hotel for finale. But it just wasn't the right season for me. I mean, they brought me in and asked, like, what if, because I can't remember what was the name, the gal who's in charge of the Secret Survivor Facebook group. What's
Leslie?
Yes, Leslie Neese. That's right. So Leslie Neese was the super Christian, and she oh shit, we're still there. Okay, sorry, one of my alarms went off. She was the super Christian, and so they asked me in finale, like, what would you do if somebody else had a different religious view than you? You know what I mean? And I grew up like I have like 10 preachers in my family, including like all my parents and a shitload of uncles. And we're Methodists, and Methodists are pretty liberal. Like, hey man, whatever, dude, just be cool to one another. And so I'm just like, they were like, what would you do if somebody else had a different religion? I'm like, well, everybody's religion is their own fucking choice. And what they wanted me to say is like, fuck them, they're going to burn in hell. They wanted me to freak out and shit like that. And I didn't quite get it. And so then 2 years later, when I interviewed, they brought me in and gave us all the tests, and I went and talked to Dr. Lies and all that bullshit. And then they sat me down, and so there's like Probst and Mark and like all the field producers, and Probst goes, so how does it feel to know that you're not the smartest person here? And he's like looking at this piece of paper with all the test scores. And I'm like, it feels like you're reading the wrong line on that piece of paper. And he's like, well, I'm not. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people here smarter than you. I'm like, okay, sure there is, buddy, sure. And I can't remember something. Like Mark Burnett was like, he's like, oh, now I remember what it was, because Erica was because she loved me from the China interview. So Erica's like, I'm going to make it my mission and get Dave on. And so what happened was I was standing in line for this interview. This is before the whole, Jeff Probst kind of thing. But I'm standing in line, and you know how they stand us up in line, but like 30 feet apart so we can't interact, right? And Erica is wearing this
the original social distancing.
Yes, exactly. And so Erica is wearing cute like jeans and blazer and some really cute wedges combo. And I hate wedges, but they looked hella cute on her. And so I'm standing in line. She goes in with whichever person and then comes back out, goes back in, comes back out. And it's finally my turn. I'm standing there in line. And she comes out, but she's not wearing the fucking wedges anymore. She's wearing a pair of flats. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? You were wearing cute ass wedges. I wanted to see the cute wedges. I was like, and she goes, I wanted to be small for you. I wanted to be your little spinner. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, you whore. Jesus Christ, you're killing me. And she's like laughing and shit. And I'm like, lift up your blazer, spin around. Let me see what you look. She's like, no. And then she goes, but I'm going to tell Mark that I did it. And so then she goes in there and she tells Mark that I'm a fucking player and I can get her to fucking spin around and all that shit. So then I walk in, I sit down, and Mark Burnett goes, were you asking about that girl out there? I said, yeah. So what? He goes, that girl is so far out of your league, you could never get somebody like that. And I said, hey, thanks for your opinion, but I didn't come to talk to you. And shut him right the fuck down. And then I just start talking to Jeff. And so that's when, and this was in fact, I remember exactly, because this was so Survivor Tocantins. This was and to answer your fucking question that I never answered, I was never a Survivor fan. I auditioned for about a year. I sent in a tape about a year before my guy got me the interview for China. But then when I got the interview for China, I started watching like fucking game tape. You know what I mean? I started watching as many seasons as I could, as fast as I could to kind of get, which it turns out that doesn't work, but whatever. God bless. We can get into that later. So anyway, I'm in there talking to Mark Burnett. I'm talking to Jeff Probst, and I said, and see, I had my shit down. I went fucking guns blazing this time. Folks, if you're trying to audition for this shit, do not be polite. Just go in there and show them your penis. Literally. Just like, this is my dick. Bam. So this was the episode. Do you remember?
There's our sound bite. We're good.
This is. Do you remember the episode? It was the episode of Tocantins, and you remember how Coach would always do that Tai Chi bullshit, you know? And he doesn't know Tai Chi. He's just making shit up. God bless him. I love him, but it's like that's not.
Are you trying to insinuate that my good friend Coach makes up stories?
I knew you were going to say right. God bless everybody. God bless. Apparently, it's socially and politically appropriate these days. He's ahead of the curve, man. He was Sarah Palin before Sarah Palin.
Wow.
He was Donald Trump before Donald Trump. Anyway, point is, Fair Play is going, well, shit, that's a good point. Goddamn. Also, are people actually watching this right now, or are we
Not
recording?
Right now. We're
recording, right?
Yeah.
That's what I figured. We record first. Sure, for sure. Of course, because you don't want to see my dick, or do you? Anyway, point of the story is, this was a killer shot, and I don't notice this shit at all, but I knew this was the producers were going to love, they're going to love this shit, because Coach is in the water doing Tai Chi, and at this point, I'm watching all this shit like game tape, right? The previous episode that happened, he's in the water doing Tai Chi or whatever, but I noticed that the water, the land is behind him, which means the camera must be out in the water, except for it's a high enough angle, so I know it's over the water, but the water's not moving at all. And I'm like, how are they doing this? And then they pull back. They pull way the fuck back, and I realize that it's a helicopter dolly shot, and it is crazy long. And that's literally the only shot of anything I've ever really noticed, ever. But I'm like, God damn, you guys, that was a great fucking shot. And they were like, their dicks got it moved, you know. So they were feeling it. They were into it. So then I started, bantering with Jeff, whatever, buddy. Mm-hmm. And then the next day, another interview. And then the next day, when I went to a network up over the hill in the valley, the one who shall not be named went in before me, and then I went in after and started talking about...
The one that shall not be named female.
Yes, correct.
Okay, because I know a lot of people might be thinking Russell.
No.
We'll
Russell, whatever. He's all right. Whatever. Okay. So then I start talking about like game theory and shit. Like, look, man, if you have these numbers against these numbers, then you got to do this, you got to do that. And then I stopped and said, wait a second. Do you really want to hear about game theory? And Lynn goes, no, we don't. Tell us about yourself. And I looked at all the producers and just told them straight to their face, I'm the smartest motherfucker you have ever met in your life. And that's just no shit. And the whole time, Mark Burnett is sitting there in silence. Like, I'm already locked into the cast at this point. So, and then I get the call, blah, 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 blah. And then we go out and do it. They fly us out there, and we go to fucking Ponderosa and hover around in that weird fugal, fucking limbo, purgatory kind of a state for like a week.
I want to go back to the interview. Like, when you meet Jeff Probst, what was Jeff Probst's opinion of you? Was he a fan of yours, or was he like annoyed by you? Was he impressed? Break it down.
So look, I had met Jeff Probst 2 years earlier on China. So I walk in, and I was thinking about that today. That's so funny. Like, so I got my bottle of water here, right? This is like just a glass bottle that I ordered off Amazon for like $9, no big deal. But for the longest time, and understand, at this point in time, I was still living in my van. Okay. Or my van had been totaled a couple of weeks before, and I was crashing with a girlfriend. But it was right around then. And so I would carry around a gallon jug of water with me all the time, because I was a big water drinker. I just carried around a gallon jug. Nothing super interesting. So I may not be answering your question the way I want, but there's a lot of color, so I'm not sure.
No. Go on.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured I'll just roll on until you stop me.
Go on.
Yeah, for sure. Smart move. That's the way to do it, because one of the reasons I've never gone back on Survivor is because the current EP was a field producer on my season, and he asked the shittiest questions. They'd be super leading, like trying to get me to say something in particular. And that shit does not fly with me, and it really fucking angered me to the point where after I was back in America and shit. I actually badmouthed his job competence to his own brother's face. Just like, dude, your brother sucks at his job. He's terrible at it. True story. However, there was another field producer who was really smart. He'd ask me a question and just let me fucking go. And I give you gold, motherfucker. I'm not fucking around.
What was the?
I'm not giving names.
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm asking.
All right.
So you make the merge, and we'll backtrack after.
I was going to say you're skipping a lot of shit, baby.
No. You make the merge. Do you feel that your initial tribe was of the two tribes, like your initial tribe was maybe the A tribe, and you had a good producer there, and then once you had the merge, that other producer came over, or was that the other producer that you? I
had two field producers. Both of those are the ones I talked about.
Yeah.
The producers that were over in FOA and the other tribe, they were
okay.
They were fine.
Okay.
You
had both the really good one and the bad one on your tribe.
Well, the other, there was also a good one, an okay one, and not good. The crazy chick who drank a lot. Yeah. She was on the other tribe.
Okay. So on Pearl Islands, I felt like we had the A producers on our tribe, and they were great, both of them.
Yeah.
And then once we had the merge, they alternated days, and the
sure same here.
The producers from the B tribe that came over, it was all leading, and I walked. I'm like, I don't. Yeah,
leading's bullshit. Leading's bullshit.
I was like, look, I got enough material. I promise. I'm like, if you talk to someone and come back, please do. I'm like, but the confessional that you're attempting to get me to give is not what I'm here for.
Yeah. So anyhow,
that the one that you didn't like, they were there the whole time.
I completely forgot. I have no idea.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what happens. See, you can't do that. Fair play. You can't. I was flowing. Now I have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Well, you were talking about Jeff Probst's initial observations about you. You had a gallon jug of water.
There we go. Here we go. So, the first time I met Probst was on China. And Erica was like, listen, compliment him. He's an actor. He loves that shit. So I went in, and Lynn's filming. It's just Lynn and Jeff. Lynn opens the door, and as I'm walking through, she goes, you've got the highest. Wait a second. Let me close the door first. And before she could even close the door, I'm like, yeah, the highest IQ you've ever seen. Whatever. Who fucking cares? She's like, how did you know? And I'm like, highest IQ you've ever seen, remember? It's like... Of course I know. That's my fucking job. I'm smart, dumbass. Of course that's what you're going to say. Mm-hmm. So then we sit down. I sit down. He's like, damn, that's a big ball of water. That's enough water for a Ethiopian family for a week. And I'm just like, and he wasn't being racial. It's just that he's traveled a shitload of fucking places. Sure. And he may not have said Ethiopian. I don't remember, but it was like some third world country or something. I don't remember. I'm just like, I don't know. I drink a lot of water, I guess. So then, excuse me, he says, and so we start talking about China. And I said, I know a fair amount about China. In ancient China, in order to be considered a master, you had to master what are called the 5 excellences: music, martial arts, medicine, geomancy or feng shui, and penmanship, calligraphy. And he's just like, wow, how did you know all that? I'm like, I'm a genius, remember? So,
or you memorized 5 things, which
back to Coach Wade.
It's the first one, baby. I promise.
I mean, I believe you. I'm just.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. Cool. So, just trust me. We don't have time to. Anyway, so
there will be no fact checking here on this podcast.
I mean, it'll be a waste of your time. God bless and energy. So I don't know how he felt about me going into Samoa 2 years later, but it's been my understanding that Jeff Probst really prefers the physical alphas to the mental dweebs and shit like that. So I don't know how he felt about me. I didn't really care. But one thing is like, so did you guys all spend a week at Ponderosa before the game started?
About a week, yes.
Give or take.
Matt
Give or
did.
take. Right?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. On Pearl Islands, we jumped off the boat, and then that was it.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck,
So
that's right.
fans versus favorites, then yes, but instead of Survivor School
Right.
like everyone else gets, they're like, oh,
Right.
you guys have already played before. You don't need Survivor. I'm like, whoa, I never got Survivor School. I don't.
Right. So anyway, so what happened was we got our week on Ponderosa, and our chief. I mean, how long have you've been watching forever? Everybody, is there anybody who hasn't seen my season? Everybody saw my season, right?
Yes.
Right.
So my chief, big Russell, big huge black guy with the dreads, right?
Russ Swan.
Yes, Russ Swan. That's exactly right. So Ponderosa pregame it's like, I don't know if to describe to your listeners, it's like you get there and day one, you're like fucking jacked. You're like, fuck yes, I'm doing Survivor. This is amazing. And day two, you're like, Survivor. And day three, you're like, oh, Survivor. And day four, you're like, Jesus, man, here we are, day four. And you're not doing shit.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to interact or speak at all. You're just reading books or walking around there and shit to fucking do. But you're allowed to look at everybody and size them up. And so, and day five, it's really fucking eerie. I mean, it's eerie, man. And you're just like, what? And they do it. I realize they do it on purpose to make it uncomfortable so that when you hit the beach and they get the first shots of you, like, hey, man, nice to meet you. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's like a huge relief and pulling a Band-Aid off and everything. And day six, they give you your buffs, and you get to see who's on what this, and they teach you how to build fire. I already know how to build fire. I'm a man, whatever. But I realize that Russ is on my tribe, and Russ, I can tell already, he does not like me. I mean, he did not like me, and it wasn't till because he got medevaced out. Remember, because his blood pressure dropped. He got medevaced out about 2 or 3 days before that. It's like day 15. He goes, "Look, man, here's the deal." He just confides in me. He goes, I don't know what's going on out here, and I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. So if you want, if we could make an alliance or something, help each other out. I'm like, shit, that sounds awesome, Chief. I'd love to do that. Because
Day
if you
15,
remember,
he comes to this realization.
because what happened was, if you remember, sorry, I got distracted again. If you remember, I won chickens. You remember the bocce ball game?
Yeah, you're a bocce ball master. You are also a master of making love. That is your sport, but you don't play often enough.
That is right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well done. Well summarized.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you won chickens?
Yeah, so Russell Swan comes and says, I don't know what's going on. Let's make an alliance, day 15.
Because like 4 days before, that chicken winning thing, he thought it was a tribe swap. And he was going to dump me and Shambo on the other tribe. We all thought it was a tribe swap. So he's kicking me and Shambo to the fucking curb. And I thought, shit, this is not fucking good. Well, so fast forward, he, dies or whatever. And then we have a very special, next on the very special survivor, whatever. And then,
for the record, he did not die.
He did not die. No, the proof is that he actually played again on another season. So
with Zane Knight.
I don't care. Anyway, so anyway, on that night, Survivor. See, up until that point, when we would go to tribal council, Jeff Probst would ask all those questions like, "Hey, man, who's not pulling their weight around camp? Who's an asshole? Who's a dick? Blah, blah, blah." And I'm not an idiot, so I wouldn't ever give him any answer except for these long-winded things that would eventually circle around back to me. So all I can do is take responsibility for my blood camp and shit that is not going to piss anyone off and that is unusable on television.
Yeah.
So what happens is
real quick. A lot of people
you're
fair play. You are fucking everything up, dude.
I know.
No. You've got to let me finish.
Okay, finish. Then we'll circle back.
Jesus.
Okay.
All right. So Jeff Probst says, fuck this story. I'm over it. What are you asking me, fair play?
No, now I want to hear. I'm enthralled.
I don't give a fuck what you want. Fair play. What's your question?
No, a lot of people feel that the only time that you can be honest is tribal council. And I'm a firm believer in the exact opposite of that. It's like the only time you can be honest is your fucking confessional when no one else can hear you tell the truth.
Correct. I mean, hey, you guys, you know what? You're all fat and stupid and lazy. Vote for me for $1 million. Like, what are you, dumb? No, that's idiotic. That's
But
fucking
there's
retarded.
so many people that
Not
believe
to use the R word. I apologize.
It's perpetuated. It's just like, hey, tribal council is a time in which you can be honest. You can get it, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like,
whatever, dude.
why? I'm like,
good luck.
Now's when they're about to vote. This is the last time I want to be honest.
Well, look. The time. Look, tribal council is the time to be honest if you want to parlay your Survivor appearance into an acting career,
which you had no desire to do so.
When I went into my auditions and blew them all the fuck up, shut Mark Burnett down, shut Jeff Probst down, peace, I'm out. Then I leave, and literally, Erica tells me, as soon as you left, the field producers are like, that guy's an actor. And she's like, nope. They're like, yep, he's an actor, for sure, 100%. She goes, nope, IMDb him. And they're like, doop, 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 doop. He's not on IMDb. She's like, So I had no interest. I was trying to win $1 million fucking dollars. I was trying to win $1 million. No, I'm not trying.
Early retirement to Thailand.
Actors. Nah, I'm not really into Asian girls.
But that's what you said. I watched your pregame video. You're just like, I want early retirement to Thailand with $1 million. I can become a warlord.
Oh, fuck! My shit holds up. God damn, I'm hilarious. Fuck me. That's why you just got to let me roll, fair play. God damn, man. I'm the king. Son of a bitch.
I love this. We've done
a warlord. Yes.
we've done 200 podcasts.
I'm a genius.
And this is I mean,
Christ.
30 seconds into this podcast, I knew it was going to be the best.
Oh my God.
This motherfucker has given Fair Play so much shit. I fucking love every fucking second because Johnny Fairplay dishes shit out to every fucking person on the planet.
I just thought I was going to ask questions, Matt. I
love it. It's so fucking
it's
hilarious.
Nothing personal, man, but you're punching way the fuck above your weight.
Whoa.
Nothing personal. Look. Hey.
You did drop to 153 pounds and lost.
I did. That's right. I think I actually dropped to 158. I started out 173. I think it was maybe 156. I dropped almost, but
according to your Ponderosa video, 153.
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
So refresh my memory. Like, how far did you go?
31 days.
31 days.
Yeah.
Was it as hard as you thought it would be, Dave? Like, as far as the men, I mean, you're a fucking smart dude, obviously, but you were homeless, so you know what it's like to live in shit. So was it a difficult thing for you or not really?
It was not difficult for me in the way that it's probably difficult for most people because I'm like, fucker, I had to worry about not getting the popo knocking on my fucking van window going, hey, you need to fucking move. Get out of the fucking car. What's in your pockets and all that shit. Like, on the island, there ain't gonna be cops fucking frisking me.
They are looking in your pockets, though, Dave.
Yeah, they did. They did.
The only person with things in his pockets, you know how he finished.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Be Russell, Hidden Immunity Idols.
What do you think of Russell Hantz? I mean, when I watched your season, Dave, obviously Russell was this, guy. We never seen a player like this guy before. He finds all these idols. Do you think Russell Hantz is overrated, or do you think he was a good player in the game?
I think both. I mean, he's from a certain aspect, he's one of, if not the best player to play the game on a certain. Like when I voted, I didn't know who I was going to vote for, honestly, until there's 9 people in the jury. I was voted off 5th. So I had 4 people voted before me and 4 voted after. And so Eric was off first. He voted first. Then Kelly was off. She voted next. Then Laura. Then Fincher. Then me. I didn't know who I was going to vote for, I think, maybe until Laura came back and sat down. And then I finalized my decision. And my decision was, I was trying to weigh it logically. There's 3 aspects, and I had this discussion with Russell at the finale of Heroes versus Villains, he goes, yeah, 3 aspects: outplay, outlast. I'm like, fuck does that even mean, dude? What I told him, I said, no, challenges, social game, strategy. Now, strategy, obviously, Russell, I mean, Christ, you just can't fuck with it. But social game, Natalie White is genuinely the fucking sweetest person ever. So technically, not a game. That's just who she was. So she just fit in that niche. But on the other hand, technically, strategy is who Russell is. So it's almost a wash. So the third is challenges, and they both sucked at challenges. The only challenge that Russell won was literally the very last one that kicked Brett off the island. But I'm like, yo, dude, I don't know how that, because I was in Ponderosa when that happened. I had no idea how it went down. So I didn't know who the fuck won that challenge. But also, individual immunity challenges are basically 50% luck, because the challenge that I went out on was coconut bowling. Well, you're not using a real coconut. You're using art department coconut that's made out of like burlap and whatever. So it's not going to roll according, it's not a smooth ball, and it's not a flat surface, and it's just bullshit.
It's carnival games.
Exactly. It's a carnival game, and they want a bunch of randomness and shit, because it just makes shit more interesting. That way, it's harder for people like Tyson to just run the fucking table. Do you know what I mean? Even though they love Tyson, etc. So I went off on coconut bowling. Funny story. You had to do press the day after you get voted off. And so I'm on with all these radio stations, and one dum-dum from Las Vegas, God bless these people, they're trying me, and they couldn't stand under the withering, wit of Johnny Fairplay. There's no fucking way they're coming at me. And this one guy, this radio DJ from Las Vegas, is like, well, hey, look, you ever moved to, and he's been going after it for like 5 or 6 minutes trying to be funny. I'm just like, oh my Lord, this is bad. He goes, if you ever move to Las Vegas and start a bowling league, look me up. And I said, cool. If you ever get to be funny, send me a tape. And then there's silence. And then the press guy from CBS who's on the line goes, he hung up. He just hung up. We've never had that happen before. So
I love it.
So I can't remember what the fuck question we were talking about, but Russell.
Oh no, the third criteria.
Right. They both sucked at challenges, and so I thought, fuck me, it is a dead heat. And so the tiebreaker that I couldn't think of, and at this point I didn't give a shit who won. You know what I mean? Like, because who gives a fuck? They're the bad guys. Who gives a shit?
You don't get to write your own name.
No, whatever. Yeah, and so I was like, okay, social game, challenges, and strategy. It's 1, 1, and 1. So I thought, well, Jeff Probst always says Survivor's a social game, so I have to give the social aspect the edge. So I gave Natalie my vote.
Do you regret that decision, or do you not care?
No, I don't regret it. It was the right decision for sure. Not even question.
So, yeah, Dave, another big part of Russell's game was hidden immunity idols. Do you have any perspective on what was up with those idols on Samoa? Because all of a sudden they started popping into his pockets left and right.
Look, man, he found the idols without a clue 3 times in a row. It's like, really? Well, I asked Russell later, and he said, sure, it's easy. All you got to do is go looking for idols, and you make it known to the cameraman that you're going looking for idols. And the cameraman has got to get the shot of you finding the fucking idol. He's got to get the shot. So you go to the well and look and look and look and look, and you do it for 2 hours. And if the cameraman puts his camera down, you know that idol ain't there. Mm-hmm. I thought, right. Fuck me. He's playing hot and cold, but he had it fucking on lockdown. Because there was a time, for a long time, because I was, salty, and we all come back fucked in the head. For a long time, I was like, I didn't think that they handed them to him, but I mean, they obviously were not going to great fucking lengths to hide them, but it is what it is. Cause I mean, winning Survivor is often, more negative for a lot of winners than it ends up being a positive. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Todd and just a bunch of them. It's just, it turns out,
Well, Fabio, Todd Herzog. I mean, there's countless players, dude, that have won, and it is kind of like almost ruined their damn.
It's almost a curse. Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, Natalie
the
won.
Magi, if you will.
Yes. Nice pull. That's right. The gift of hold it. No. The gift of the Magi was two people who loved each other. That wasn't the point of the gift of the Magi, dude. That was not the point of the gift of the Magi.
I mean, what was your experience, Dave? Like overall, are you glad that you played Survivor?
You know what? It was a positive in many ways. It helped me burn up a lot of emotional scar tissue that needed to be kind of ripped open so I could deal with it. I mean,
and now we'll take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Magic Spoon. And let me tell you, I'm about to turn 30 years old. It's about that time I start cutting down on carbs, sugar, unhealthy food, and all that shit. I realized I basically can't eat anything anymore. That's where Magic Spoon comes in. Tell them about it, Johnny.
Oh, man. 0 grams of sugar. 11 grams of protein. That's right, 11 grams of protein and only 3 net grams of carbs in each serving. What am I talking about? Magic Spoon. 4 delicious flavors previously: cocoa, fruity, frosted, and blueberry. What was my favorite? It was the frosted. But boom! What am I looking at right now? This is the greatest week of my life. I'm looking at brand new peanut butter Magic Spoon and honey nut. Oh, man. Tomorrow, I'm having both. I am so excited. I'm breaking all the rules. I mean, you heard me correct. 0 grams of sugar, 11 grams of protein, only 3 net grams of carbs in each serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free, and taste amazing. The most important part, honestly, too good to be true. You can join me. Be like just me. Try those new flavors as well. Where do they go, Zach?
Go to magicspoon.com/survivor to grab a variety pack and try it today. Be sure to use our promo code SURVIVOR at checkout to get free shipping. And Magic Spoon is so confident in this product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked, but you're going to like it. That's magicspoon.com/survivor and use the code SURVIVOR for free shipping. We thank Magic Spoon for sponsoring this podcast.
Any fool can climb a wall or crawl through sand, but as every fan knows, Survivor challenges are won or lost at the puzzle. The most successful players are puzzle masters, and you can be one too. Fair play. Perplexers Puzzles creates handmade miniature replicas of many of Survivor's greatest and most challenging puzzles. Find out if you have what it takes by visiting the Perplexers Puzzle store on Etsy or simply visiting survivorpuzzle.com. Enter promo code FAIRPLAY, FAIRPLAY, at checkout for a 10% discount. And let me tell you, I'm hanging out on my patio on these beautiful summer nights. I have Zach Hacker coming over to my house, and we did the fire puzzle, the season 40 puzzle. I got the tree puzzle, and Zach was like, dude, these things are fucking awesome. So if you are a fan of Survivor, as Zach is, and I know he has a true, authentic Survivor puzzle that I have personally done, these Perplexers puzzles are the real deal. So go to survivorpuzzle.com right now, enter promo code FAIRPLAY at checkout for a 10% discount, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. So you grew up in a family of pastors. So you told me you were homeless prior to this. So you've had turmoil in your life. How does one even become homeless? And what are these Band-Aids that were ripped off that you had this great awakening emotionally, mentally, spiritually, whatever it is, because of Survivor?
And
if you don't want to talk about it, just say next question.
No. Well, I mean, you just asked like 3 or 4 questions. So, I was homeless because I was self-medicating from about age 15 to about 30. I'm turning 50 in about a month, and I'll have like 20 years sobriety. So, whatever. But I was fucking up a lot in my 20s, you know, and luckily I stayed out of jail. But, you know, I mean, caring for yourself. So let me say this a different way. For Survivor Samoa, they brought me in and they already had seen my test scores from 2 years before, but you know, they give you everybody the test. And it came to me later that the reason they give all these tests is partially for placement and to help them, give them more information, decide who's going to do well on the island. But also, I mean, if you've got to think about it, it's got to be a massive insurance fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like insurance, their insurance they're paying has got to be fucking gnarly anyway. And there's no way that they're going to underwrite their insurance without saying, look, you're going to get a psychologist, a legit one. You're going to do fucking all kinds of psychometric evaluations. You're going to do physicals. They're not fucking around. You know what I mean? And so then when I sit down with Dr. Liza to talk about my test, she's kind of gaping at me like, and I'm like, what? And she goes, you're very smart, you know? And I'd auditioned 2 years earlier, so they knew this shit already. So I'm like, yeah, how's that a surprise? So I'm like, yeah, okay. She goes, you're also very sensitive. And I'm like, yes. She goes, you're both. And I'm like, yeah, so what? So she says, most people are usually one or the other. And in retrospect, I realize most people are probably neither. But most people, if they are one, are not necessarily the other. And I said, really? One or the other? She goes, yeah, you're both. And I was like, really? She says, that must be very difficult. I said, it is very difficult. So my old man gave me, the Reverend Ball gave me a frame. Do you remember when we were kids and we have posters on our walls like Kiss and Ferraris and good looking chicks and shit? He gives me a framed, for graduating from high school, I'm going off to college, he gives me a framed like a poster, you know, we would get at Spencer's Gifts or some shit like that, of a red Lamborghini. And he inscribed it, he wrote on it, says, Dave, play with it, keep working on it, love your family. And I'm like, huh? He goes, don't you remember? We talked about this. I'm like, I do not remember. He says, this is representative of your spirit. See, Italian race cars are not like Toyotas. The benefit of a Toyota is you turn the key and that son of a bitch runs all the time. Super dependable. Is it super fast? No. But that's not why you buy a Toyota. Italian race cars, super fast, but man, you got to be under the hood all the time or you're going to break down. That's me. And I didn't know how to care for myself well because I'm high maintenance. Shocker. So I'm high maintenance and I have to learn how to fucking care for myself. And through my 20s, I'm doing a shitty job of it. You know what I mean? So then I decide I'm doing this fucking wrong. The Bible says, you know, the lilies of the field and the birds in the air, God loves you more than them. He'll take care of you. You just got to fucking trust him. And I said, I'm fucking this up. And when I get a job where I'm working regular blue collar shit, and, you know, I don't mean that in a derogatory fashion, just in a general, you know, like I've done stuff like I've framed houses. I can frame a house by myself. It'll take a while, but I can do it. You know, I've done this blue collar shit, but I make,
tall.
Yeah, exactly. I can lift things real high. I make regular people uncomfortable because I'm high maintenance. I'm intense, and it's just not. It's not being on a job site. It's just not fair to other people who are just regular ass people, because we are basically, like, I've been thinking about this for the past month, like, and I don't know how much, and I'm not, understand, I have a lot of preachers in my family, but I was an atheist for a fucking quarter century, and I do not give a shit if you believe or don't. God bless you. I don't care.
I think that covers it both ways.
Right. Exactly. So Lord frickin' provides, man. So about a month ago in the Christian lectionary, they talk about the story of Abraham sacrificing Isaac. Now, this is one of the founding, I don't want to say myths in a derogatory term, but one of the founding stories of the Israelite tradition. And if you don't know it, what happens is Abraham and his wife Sarah are old as shit, and Sarah is barren, which is a source of shame in the community at this time. Offspring are a source of wealth, and so they are considered low people. And the Lord is amazing because he always visits low people and the younger siblings and everything like that. So the Lord visits Abraham, says, your wife's going to get with child. And he's like, we're old. Get the fuck out of here. He goes, have faith, motherfucker. Direct quote. And Sarah has Isaac. And it's a great, amazing thing and a wonderful thing. It's so exciting. But then Isaac grows up and the Lord says, here's what I want you to do, Abraham, to prove your loyalty to me or something like that. I want you to take your son, Isaac. I want you to take some firewood and your knife and some rope to tie him with. I want you to go up to the mountain, tie his ass up, and sacrifice him to me. And Abraham goes, you got it. Now we, as spoiled 21st century white folks, think about that and go, oh, that is abominable. We think of it in terms of our own perspective today, and that means we don't understand that back then, human sacrifice was a thing. You know what I mean? It was a thing. It was not, I don't know how common it was, but it was common. It was done. You know what I mean? So, but we think of it anyway. And so this gets me to thinking, I'm like, shit, I got to figure out what the perspective of that shit is. So then I go back and start researching because that Abraham story took place about 2,000 years BCE, which is the new way of saying BC. We don't say before Christ anymore. We say before Common Era. So I start looking back and I start looking into ancient history and human evolution. So it turns out that 2.5 million years ago, this one ape named, let's call him Fred. Fred wakes up one morning, he does ape shit. The same exact thing he and literally every other single ape since the beginning of time have done. Wakes up, scratches his butt, takes a dump, bangs his wife, I don't know. And then he goes looking for food because most of your time is spent looking for food. But Fred is special because Fred goes like this. Hey, I found this rock and I'm going to use it as a tool. Now, those of us like you and me and everybody, we grew up watching a bunch of John Wayne movies. So we assume that Fred uses this rock for something cool, like defeating his enemies. But the reality is he probably used it in some way to make calories more accessible. For example, corn tortillas and tamales, that kind of corn is not the same kind of sweet corn that we eat off the cob. You have to grind that shit up. That's why Mesoamericans, their teeth were all fucked up, right? They have to use a stone to grind that thing, add water, and make calories accessible. But if you can use a stone to make a whole new source of calories, son of a bitch, you have got an edge. So Fred wakes up in the morning an ape, but that super fucking badass motherfucker, he goes to bed Homo habilis, which is Latin for man with an ability. He's the very first man. He can use a fucking stone. He's a fucking stud. Now that's 2.5 million years ago. Fast forward 2.3 million years, and this motherfucker evolves into, and when I say evolves into, I don't mean all of a sudden fucking Homo habilis is over. It's like concurrent lines branching off. 250,000 years ago, Neanderthal pops up. Now, Neanderthal is a super badass. 50,000 years after that, understand, Neanderthal has got a 50,000 year head start. Homo sapien, that's you and you, probably fair play, and also Zach. Homo sapien evolves, okay? Neanderthal has got a 50,000 year head start, okay, which is substantial. Neanderthal also has a bigger brain and stronger muscles. He's tougher than we are, and he's fucking smarter than we are. The whole time, we are all, Neanderthal, Homo sapien, Homo habilis, all behaving just like Fred, okay? Essentially, we're all the same. Homo sapien has a chin. He's more vertically upright, okay? Fast forward 150,000 years. The year is 50,000 BCE, and motherfucker, Homo sapien invents language. And shit, it is on now. Now, quick note, 2.5 million years ago, Fred Flintstone begins the Stone Age, the Paleolithic, okay? Fast forward 2.3 million years to the evolution of Homo sapiens. Homo sapien pops in, bam! We've gone from the lower Paleolithic, which is 2.3 fucking million years long, to the middle Paleolithic, the beginning of Homo sapien. 150,000 years later, Homo sapien develops language, and now middle Paleolithic is over, upper Paleolithic begins, and language changes fucking everything, because now we are not apes anymore. We can communicate. Religion begins, which, again, I was a cynical, bitter asshole, atheist, fuck you, there's no Jesus, blah, the Bible's been changed, blah, 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 because I was an edgy teenager and super angry and all that shit. But religion has absolutely been a net positive for human society, regardless of what your feelings are about it. We start burying our dead instead of just leaving corpses there, okay? This is 50,000 years BCE. Fast forward 25,000 years later, Neanderthal dies out. Neanderthal, remember, is smarter than us and stronger than us, and we still fucking win because of language. That is how badass we fucking are. So then fast forward to 10,000 years BCE. The climate shifts and gets warmer. This is the end of the upper Paleolithic. Paleolithic means old stone, okay? 10,000 BCE, Mesolithic, middle Stone Age, okay? We can now, remember how in 6th grade world history, it always started with the Tigris and the Euphrates and the Fertile Crescent and that kind of shit? That's where we're at now. Agriculture, holy shit. We don't have to be hunter-gatherers and wanderers and nomads anymore. We can plant our shit and stay right where we are. The Mesolithic lasts for 5,000 years. We get good enough at domestication of grain and draft animals. There are 14 draft animals that have been domesticated by human beings, and only one of them existed or originated outside of that Fertile Crescent area. The reason man was born in that Fertile Crescent area is because it had a million advantages going for it. The llama originated in South America, but they were way, way behind because we had all these advantages in the middle Fertile Crescent. 5,000 years BCE, the Mesolithic ends and the Neolithic, the new Stone Age, begins because we've got enough agriculture that people can begin gathering closely enough together. We create urban areas, the first cities, Cairo, Egypt, Sumeria, which is gone now, but the cities there, that's the Neolithic. The Neolithic lasts 2,000 years until you hit 3,000 BCE. Now, stories like Noah's Ark, the flood story, and the Adam and Eve stories, those are ancient history, probably Stone Age stories. But then the next stories like Abraham and whatnot take place during the Bronze Age. The Bronze Age starts at 3000 BCE at the same time as we invent writing. Man, we are turbo badasses now. Writing is amazing, and bronze is dope because copper, we've had copper for a long time, but it's too soft to be worth a shit. But if you add a little bit of tin to copper, you got bronze. And bronze, you can fashion into tools and do some amazing shit. So when they say, Abraham, take Isaac and your knife up there, his knife is probably made out of bronze, and it may very well be a holy symbol to him at that point in time, right? So fast forward to 1000 BCE, we discover iron and how to make that happen. And iron is just as hard as bronze, but is far more plentiful. So then we can start mass producing weapons and shit. And that's when the age of empires begin. Now put a pin in all that bullshit. The single most important thing in a leader in a tribal situation is the ability to tell the truth. Now dig it. We as human beings automatically elevate people who tell the truth, which is why the earliest stories would call like Satan like the father of lies and shit like that. Imagine, for example, it's still the Stone Age. We have language, but we don't have bronze. And our tribes do certain things. We eat these plants, we eat these animals and whatnot. But then one day we discover that the red berries that we have been eating, something's wrong because it's killing people. Holy shit. So one guy in this tribe decides to go to the other tribe and shout from a distance, "Hey, fuckers, don't eat the red berries anymore. They're killing us." That other tribe has to decide, are they lying? Or are they telling the truth? Fuck you. You just want all the red berries for yourself. Now, if we're going to call that guy the prophet, if the prophet is lying, then they can eat the red berries and it's fine. But if he's telling the truth, then eating the red berries is possibly dangerous, and they have to decide. So you have to be able to evaluate the truth. Now, this is part of the problem that we have in our country today. There are a ton of liars who get paid very well for lying, and they have poisoned the minds and souls of their listeners. And those listeners, evolutionarily speaking, are now at a disadvantage. Now, here's the point. We think we're long past the Stone Age as human beings. We are not. All the tools that we have invented since stones as tools are just jumped up versions of the same motherfucking thing. Okay? They're fancy shit. Sure. We invented the water wheel and the wheel and all these things, and they're cool. They're physical tools to help us perform labor. They're not different in theory until you get to the 20th century. My grandfather was born in 1908 in Tucumcari, New Mexico, to a family of homesteaders, okay? Now, Tucumcari, New Mexico is on I-40, and it's about 30 or 40 miles west of the Texas Panhandle. I looked it up, and there's about 5,000 people in Tucumcari now. It's at about 4,000 feet altitude. There was no irrigation, so they were dry land farmers. So the only way they got water, pray for rain, baby. Their lives were harder than ours to a degree that is incomprehensible to you and I. My father used the word barbaric. And if you think about it, motherfucker. And that was only 100 years ago. So it is absolutely 100% inappropriate for us to judge Abraham and Isaac for some shit that we cannot possibly fucking fathom because we can't even understand 100 years ago. He had rickets. He had bow legs because he got rickets as a child, which is a vitamin D deficiency from malnutrition because they were fucking dryland farmers out in the middle of fucking nowhere, right? They couldn't make a go of it, so they moved back to Oklahoma. If you've been in the military, you may have gone to Fort Sill, and they landed in Lawton, which is the city that is attached to Fort Sill on the southwest corner of Oklahoma. He made a living selling life insurance door to door for the low price of a nickel a week during the Great Depression and the Dust Bowl, because I'm from Oklahoma. So the Grapes of Wrath, that shit was about my people. You know why they call it the Great Depression? Because people from Oklahoma who were suffering through the Great Depression, or the Dust Bowl at the same time, would look out in other places in the country with no Dust Bowl and go, shit, that looks great. Little joke there. Wasn't very funny, but I'll keep workshopping it. Anyway, point of the story is, the first television that my grandfather got was in about 1957. He was 50. My father was 10. His entire childhood, bumping up against his young adulthood, was spent without a TV. And even then, there was only 2 or 3 hours of programming a night. And it wouldn't surprise me if there's none on Sunday. But I grew up, wham, glued to the television. Now, I'm about to turn 50, and I remember back when you'd wake up real early in the morning to watch cartoons, but there was a test pattern. You guys probably aren't old enough for that shit. There's a test pad. You turn it on. Yeah, fair play. I was trying to throw you a bone. Fair play. There's a test pattern. You're like, fuck this shit. When's TV going to come on? Because it still wasn't 24 hours. There wasn't enough content. But I grew up watching so much fucking TV. I was not an athlete. I was not social. I played Dungeons & Dragons and I watched TV and read books, and that was it. We're just now exiting the Stone Age. I have a computer that I'm communicating with 3 other dudes who are on a whole different part of the planet. It's a fucking phone. Like Star Trek 50 years ago, like the phone in my pocket that I'm zooming you with right now makes Star Trek, Captain Kirk and Spock and shit look like a little bitch. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This right now is the advent, the dawn of a brand new stage in human history where we are overwhelmed with more information than we can fucking conceive of. And simultaneously, we're generating content right now. Jesus Christ. On Twitch, streaming that shit up. Follow me on Twitch, Dave_Ball. And look, so there are 2. Remember, we're talking about the Stone Age guys? That was the vast fucking majority of our human life has been spent as apes, tribal fucking apes. And our evolution is tribal. So now you've got 2 types of mental and emotional wiring harnesses. Is there anyone who doesn't understand when I say wiring harnesses? You know what I'm talking about? Just wiring systems, right? We're all wired a particular way. Like gay dudes, they're born gay. They're just born wired that way. Whatever. No big deal. We are born to be, what's the word I wrote down? Risk-taking or risk-averse. The risk-averse may be called fearful. The risk-taking may be called, crazy people. They're just crazy. They're just unsafe. You know what I mean? 2 different wiring systems that were both necessary for us as a human race to land here at this point in time. Neanderthals were smarter than us. They were fucking stronger, but we're here. We made this happen. So we have some people who have been misled by a huge propaganda machine, and they're fucked. However, they've been fucked for so long, they may even know, hey, this is bullshit, but it's too late now. Too late now, man. What's it called? The bias where sunken cost fallacy. Nope. It's like you're trying to use a map, trying to drive to the right place. Well, shit, I may be lost, but I can't turn around now. Motherfucker. Turn the fuck around. You're all going to die. Not a threat. I'm just saying, evolutionarily speaking, you're at a disadvantage, man. As a person who grew up in a more progressive household that was more inclusive rather than exclusive, because there's an evolutionary advantage to being exclusive. It's just that we're not in the Stone Age anymore. So some of these behaviors and some of these wiring systems have become vestigial. They don't serve us. Do you know what I mean? Like I've thought to myself, like there have been, in the past several years, there have been fires, there have been floods. Shit, man, what more do we want? About 2 years ago, I made a list. I wrote out a list of like crazy shit that could happen during the 2020 election cycle. We could be at a war with Iran. We could be at war with Korea. Our economic shit. I mean, we knew that there was an economic bubble. We knew that it was going to fucking crash. It was just a matter of fucking time. The question is, was Trump going to be able to make it past the election? Because, I mean, it's been on a huge upslope for a decade. It's just, there's always going to be a correction. It was it going to happen it was going to happen. So it's not like it's not like, anyway, fuck it. Point of the story is, on this list of shit that I wrote down, number 15 said global pandemic. Now I thought to myself, because I know a lot about science, okay? Like I am truly convinced, I'm pretty sure I could talk my way into a graduate program in astrophysics at Caltech. I don't think I would enjoy it. I like the idea of it because I really like that, but there's a bunch of minutia with graduate work. Anyway, I thought, the Lord cannot send a pandemic because viruses do not discriminate between people. It wants everybody. You know what I mean? But then, turns out a pandemic hits and I'm like, what the fuck? And then it turns out there are some people who want to protect themselves and others who don't. Holy shit. You would think after a decade of living in a fucking van and after 20 years of fucking sobriety, I would fucking learn that the Lord is smarter than me. But son of a bitch, you outsmarted me again, buddy. You sent a pandemic that looks like it's going to start picking off all the people who won't listen. Because look, you got to understand, because I grew up believing in fucking science, man. Like I walked into physics class in high school, was like, hey, let's do this thing. You know what I mean? Like this clicks. And at the same time, I grew up in a fairly, it was a Midwest, very Baptist, right-wing, conservative, believe in Jesus or you're burning in hell. And I'm like, boing, eat this dick, right? Because they weren't trying to give life. It was a very exclusive, hey, you're in the club or you're out. And I'm like, if God's a loving God, that does not seem very loving to me. You know what I mean? So people on one side of the aisle would get really bent out of shape about science, but it took me a good long time before I realized scientists are absolutely 100% worshiping the Lord God Almighty. The Lord gave them a massive amount of insatiable curiosity, and they are just trying to understand the Lord's creation better. And that's it. You know what I mean? And they are hard ass. Like they are like, here's the rules. We want the truth. And the rules are, it ain't true until we have subjected it to the refiner's fire. So I can go off and do all the motherfucking research I want and come back with all the data I want. But bitch, that shit ain't truth until you submit that shit to legit peer review. And they will hammer and hammer. Well, you did this wrong, did that wrong, go back, fix it. Blah, 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 blah. They'll fuck you to the point where, and it's not personal. None of it's personal. They are all valuing the truth more highly than they're valuing anyone's feelings or opinions. You know what I mean? But when all you have are feelings or opinions, that is super duper threatening. Now, I don't want to leave you with all this heavy ass motherfucking bullshit. So I'm going to talk about college football. Do you guys like college football? I love college. I love college football. Did you say no? Did you say yeah? You love college football. I'm
all in. Right? Virginia Tech Hokies. Let's go.
Go Cowboys! Beat the fucking Sooners! Sons of bitches. I hate them so fucking much.
Boomer Sooner.
So the year, fuck you, no, we don't Boomer Sooner.
Yeah, I said boo.
Oh, boo Sooner. That's right. I said Boomer Sooner. I'm going to kick you in the balls the next time you see fucking wreck. So the year is 1988. It's my freshman year of college, and it's Barry Sanders' last year of college. And so I'm going to the football games, and Barry Sanders, the greatest fucking running back of all time. Jesus Christ. Are you a football fan, Matt?
Not at all. Nope.
All right, fair enough. I figured you're football.
I don't watch any Cincinnati Bengals. Everyone I know is football fans. I just got other shit that I do.
No, look, dude. What do you do? What's up with that? What is? We've never met before. So
So I have a super hot wife.
I do have a hot wife. I'm not gonna lie. Damn, she fine as a motherfucker. I didn't know if you were gonna be. Go ahead.
No. I got 2 kids. I'm heavily involved in fucking hanging out with those dudes. I do this podcast with Johnny. I sing in 2 fucking bands. Constantly doing shit. So
what kind of I was an opera major in college, right?
No, I did not know that. So I sing in 2. One band I do is like an acoustic style project, and the other one is like stoner doom, heavy rock, Black Sabbath kind of shit.
Like 7-string guitars and shit like that.
No, not 7-string guitars. It's more like Corrosion of Conformity, a band called Down. Caius, just heavy bluesy rock and roll.
I know who you're talking about. That's not my vibe anymore. I used to be into rock and roll real hard, but I really got it. I went to music school again in my early 30s when I was living in the van, and I got into funk. And older I get, I'm like, man, I just want to hear R&B and funk like that. I'm like, I start listening to like mid 70s Herbie Hancock. That's really heavily influenced by like Sly and the Family Stone. I start listening to, early and mid 70s, like Marvin Gaye. And I'm like, I've been wasting my life. Why have I not been listening to this shit? It's amazing.
Today is George Clinton's birthday.
You're right. I know. I mean,
so like my son takes guitar lessons from this funk musician named Freakbass. So today he had his guitar lesson.
Bootsy.
Yeah. Yep. So, anyways, he taught my son a bunch of George Clinton shit today.
Killer.
Taught him about the fucking funk revolution and all that shit. So yeah,
The trick with funk is going to be your right hand rhythm and your left hand muting, like this. So I'm hitting the shit out of these strings, but all my muting is done up here. It's a real hard thing. And don't always this. You got to skip some. So that's cool, man. That's awesome. Yeah, funk is so sick. It's so sick. Anyway,
it is sick. But yeah, so anyways,
it's all good.
My favorite time of year is the fall, which is when football games are on.
Sure.
And I'm like, hey, let's go hiking or let's go do some shit outdoors. But I have no problem with people that watch football.
Whereas I am fantasy footballing nonstop and watching college football. Like it's college football all day Saturday and then prepping for Sunday fantasy football. So.
And I'm beating Johnny at fantasy football.
Yeah, Zach beat me in the Survivor NSFW fantasy football league. He got the belt.
Yeah, I wish I had it out.
Seeing isn't behind you on display.
It needs to be. No, I'm gearing up the house ready to move, or else it'd be out there. I should get it out.
There we go.
So Dave, are you still so?
Give us a college football story.
Well, real quick, where do you think we are right now, dude? Like you went on this whole tangent about the Stone Age, this and that. Do you think, like, my sister-in-law is this born-again Christian right now? She's fucking sending all this craziness to my wife every fucking day. How we're going to be going to World War III and Russian and Chinese troops are coming on our American soil. The collapse of
Red Dawn, it's real.
All this shit, the mark of the beast, and I think it's nonsense. And it's been a really stress case for my wife because my wife is like, man, I'm worried about my sister.
I got you, man.
Research. Oh. So she's on to this end of time shit, and I know there's these like, what is your take since you've studied? Where do you think the future is leading to our society?
Okay, look, that's an excellent question. I would like to reassure your wife there's not going to be fucking Russian or Chinese invasion.
Well, no, that's what my sister-in-law is claiming, dude.
I understand. I'm trying to tell you, your sister, your wife has reason to worry about her sister, but she does not have. There's no need for reason to worry about. Because look, I was literally thinking about this like last week. Because you guys remember Red Dawn, C. Thomas Howell, Patrick Swayze, all those guys.
Soul Man.
Yeah, and when I'm, what'd you say? Who? What?
Soul Man, C. Thomas Howell.
Yeah, that's right.
Different movie, but yeah, same guy.
I know, buddy. I know. I got you.
He's a fan of Survivor.
That's great.
There you go. Full circle.
I was thinking about Red Dawn, and as a 14-year-old or 13-year-old, I'm like, fuck this. Did you ever see that movie, Matt? You know what we're talking about?
Yes, long time ago. Yeah.
It's like Russian and Cuban troops invade America. Well, okay, so that's fucking possible because look, you have to get tanks across an ocean. There is no fucking way you're getting tanks across a fucking ocean. We have the most powerful Navy in the world, and Russia has got like 4 ships. They haven't been putting any money. Now, China has been putting money into their Navy
and shit. Yeah, I've read that.
But the thing is we have a fuck ton of, what do you think? ICBM versus aircraft carrier. Who's winning that?
Right.
And ICBM is totally fucking obliterating. We have fighters, we have bombers. There's no fucking way. You're a sitting duck on the water, and we have satellites everywhere. It's an impossibility. Okay? So that's not fucking shit happening. Look, people who believe the end of time stories believe them for a reason. And the reason they believe it is it makes them feel good. So the question is, why does it make them feel good? Every man creates a world in which he has power, even if that world only exists up here. You see the homeless guys on the street fighting invisible attackers? They're fucking Batman in their head. They've created a world. That's exactly what Fox News does. Tucker Carlson, look, Sean Hannity I mean, is the fucking Antichrist, because his job literally is to fill people's heads with fucking lies. Here's what happened. You remember when he first started out on Fox News, it was Hannity and Colmes. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Colmes was this little Zach Fairplay. You know who I'm talking about? Yep. It was Hannity and Colmes. Colmes was this little dude who was basically, he was a liberal. Okay. So they pick this guy who's a little pipsqueak, who wears glasses, who makes, I'm a liberal, his whole job, but it's totally scripted. It's all theater. His job is to present liberal points, and then Sean Hannity can use common sense. And I'm going to win this argument because I'm a man and you're just a dumb liberal. You play video games? Anybody play video games? Yeah. I like video games. You know, like I like RPGs where you have missions and shit. You kill shit. I like that. You know what I mean? You solve puzzles. Whenever I solve puzzles, you're like, I'm playing Batman, I'm fighting the Joker, and it's really fucking hard, and I die like 5 times in a row or 10 times. It's so fucking hard. But finally I beat that fucker. I get a dopamine hit. I get a hit. Every time I do it right, I solve a puzzle. We evolve like that. Remember the Stone Age shit? Anytime we get food, anytime we fucking solve a puzzle, we learn some shit. When Fred Flintstone woke the fuck up and ate and got his fucking stone and made food or did some shit with it, he got a dopamine hit, and that is how evolution fucking trained us. Well, Hannity and Colmes get together and they do this scripted bullshit, and what happens is they are subliminally telling, not like subliminally like subliminal messages, but they're implying to the viewer at home that because I, Sean Hannity, have won this argument, and you, the viewer, agree with me, then you have won this argument. So those people are getting this crazy dopamine hit, and that's how they get fucking addicted. So they do that for like 7 or 8 fucking years. Colmes is like, I'm a liberal. All liberals are just like me, and they always say things, but they're all straw man arguments. They're not good arguments. Like Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity do not have smart fucking, well-educated lefties on their fucking show because they'll obliterate them. And that's not the fucking point of their show. The point of their show is to give them that fucking dopamine hit. Oh, so they can feel like a winner. Oh, we beat those liberals again. Unfortunately, they label it as news. Now, I love banana pudding, but if I got a big bowl of banana pudding and I label it broccoli, it ain't magically full of vitamins and fucking minerals. It's still banana fucking pudding. And if I sit there and eat nothing but banana pudding for a decade, my teeth are going to fall out and I'm going to get diabetes. And if I'm laughing at people eating broccoli going, ha, 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 you're just eating banana pudding. What a bunch of fucking losers, snowflakes. Well, the thing is I can handle facts, whereas when you're presented with facts, you run to your safe space of Fox News. So they're fucking brainwashed, and it is a massive fucking problem. How are we going to handle it? Well,
so Dave, can I try to work kind of all of what you've told us into like a thesis statement and see if we can have a takeaway here?
If you want,
critique me if you will. But here's what I heard, and I want to know if I got the right picture. Okay, please do. So, the course of human history is the process of going from a limited information game to a game that we're playing right now, where we have too much information coming at us at all times. Go ahead, sorry.
I apologize. I shouldn't cut you off because I hate it when Fair Play does that. But too much information. Let's say an uncomfortable amount of information.
Okay.
Because, man, when you're talking about facts,
you can never have too many facts.
You can never have too many facts, baby.
I like that. I'm right there with you. And that point where we switch from having a limited amount of information, of only having this one chief yelling over the information, and we have to make that decision, to now we have all of this information that's uncomfortable for us to handle. That point when we switch from limited information to maximum information is where being exclusive goes from being evolutionarily advantageous to now where being inclusive is evolutionary advantageous. And we've made a switch there.
That's a great point. So look, the most successful societies in history are the ones who can work together. And that is standard. Because, like, look, if it's 25,000 years ago and I roll up on tribe number 2 over here and shout, hey, don't eat the red berries. They're fucking poisonous. I don't know what happened. The climate changed, and they don't have the words to wrap around this. They just say, and it may very well be that they'll say something, oh, there's a demon in those berries. I mean, they were using language like that 500 years ago, so fuck only knows what, it's incomprehensible again. But hey, don't eat those berries. They'll make you sick. They'll kill you. If that tribe heeds those words, then that tribe will be stronger for it. And we have worked together. Working together is virtually always, you got to understand, there are 2 types of leadership / communication styles, masculine and feminine. Now, I'm not saying male and female, I'm saying masculine and feminine. So masculine leadership, organizational communication styles involve a vertical hierarchy. There's a general, there's 2 colonels, there's 5 majors, there's like 10 captains. It's a vertical hierarchy that goes up and down. There are orders, there's information passed upward, orders passed downward. Feminine communication relationship style is, there's 10 of us. Let's all sit in a circle and discuss things. No one is above any other. You know what I'm saying? Are you guys clear on what I'm saying? There's masculine, there's feminine, okay? They're not necessarily like my dad, most of his career was spent in youth ministry. So when the youth group would get together, we'd sit in a circle and we'd go around the circle, everybody say your name, say one thing about you. And this is how we got everyone included. And then when it came time for us to do activities, he didn't give orders and we didn't vote because we didn't want to be a majority rule kind of thing. We worked on consensus. So I grew up raised with a feminine communication and leadership style, even though personally I am more of a fuck you, I'm giving orders because I know better than you motherfucking do. Both of those masculine and feminine leadership styles have gifts and contradictions. If the house is on fire, hey, let's discuss our feelings about it. Fuck that. Grab the family Bible, grab the dog, get the fuck out the house right now. That's a fucking order. And you bark those fucking orders. But if you want to build something of great complexity, like a farm or a nation, then more brains are better than just one, okay? So this is all very, understand, I'm describing a lot of these things in black and white terms, and the reality is far more gray in the middle. Now, a lot of times people will use that to be like, well, what, my opinion is just as good as yours. Well, motherfucker, maybe, but opinions aren't worth shit. I mean, unless you're doing feminine relationship style, you know what I mean? But if you're talking about facts, then opinions, a lot of times you'll hear people, you'll give them a bunch of facts and they don't like the way they sound or feel because they don't jibe with their political or mental worldview, and they'll say, well, it's just your opinion. Well, no, motherfucker, it ain't just my opinion. I'm giving you facts, but you don't want to lose. And so you're labeling my facts. You're labeling my broccoli banana pudding. Bitch, it's still motherfucking broccoli. Just because you labeled my broccoli banana pudding doesn't make it equal to your actual fucking banana pudding. So, but understand, we're all wired this way. Now, that does not excuse us and say, well, we can just fuck it all off because I'm wired like that. But it also does mean that those of us with a better grasp on these things, it would behoove us as good human beings to give grace to those who do not get it, because it's very fucking hard. It's very fucking complex. I'm a fairly smart guy, and I was trained by my old man who's really good at it. We're just coming out of the fucking stone. Fucking 10 years to get our shit together, or we're going to fuck this planet for humanity via global warming. Shit's fucked up. I think we can do it, but we have to galvanize one another, and we have to make it clear, especially to people who are fear-based and lost in the fucking wilderness, that we are all on the same fucking side, okay? It's 1988. I'm a freshman in college, and Barry fucking Sanders is the most running son of a bitch ever. Now, November rolls around, and it's Bedlam football, OU versus OSU, the single most important sporting event known to mankind, bar fucking none. Go Cowboys, beat the Sooners. And we have not beaten them in a long fucking time because their school has a shitload more money than we do. But we got Barry fucking Sanders. And we're tied. It's 28-all. And there's like 5 minutes left in the game. Matt, I didn't understand football until I was like 25. My stepbrother was way more into it. And when I was about 25, I started driving over to his house for the weekend, smoking weed and getting him to teach me the game. And so I enjoy it now. I don't live for it. And frankly, I strongly recommend definitely going for hikes in the beautiful autumn weather. It really is truly fucking glorious. Yeah. But I was not growing up. I was not a big football guy. I enjoy it now, like college football pretty good, but I don't live for it or anything. I do fantasy football because it's kind of fun, but my little brother's obsessed with it. I don't love it. Whatever, it's fine. Mm-hmm. So it's fourth fucking down. Okay. And we've only got a yard or so to go, and it's Barry Sanders, and this is college. They can't stop that motherfucker. He gets 5-6 yards a carry, easy. So they're playing. What's that?
Just thinking about it, he gets 5 yards. For
sure. No, seriously. Yeah. They can't stop him. But then there's a whistle. It's 28-0, and we're about 25 yards away, and it's 4th and 1. But then there's a whistle. We're like, what the fuck is this? Swearing. Personal foul, 15 yards. Cowboys. Fuck. What? So now it's 4th and 15. God damn it. So we have to kick it away. We go into overtime. And those fucking Sooners kicked a field goal and beat us. God fucking damn it. I was so goddamn angry. Fast forward. It's 2001. And the Sooners are coming off their only national championship with Bob Stoops. Okay, they are the reigning national champions, and they are undefeated on the season. They got one game left, and it's motherfucking Bedlam. And then they are going to repeat and play for the fucking national championship. Now, I was in marching band in college, and so I knew the band leader, and so I'm standing on the sidelines for the whole game, bitching seats, right? Well, this is 2 days after Thanksgiving, and the Sooners were fucking cocky. And so they ate an extra slice of pie on Thanksgiving. They ate some extra fucking turkey and stuffing. And we hold their bitch asses. And it is 10-13 them with not very much fucking time on the clock. And boy, howdy, we put that fucker right in the corner of the end zone where I was fucking standing. We fucking win! We fucking win! And this is in Norman. This is at OU. So there's a corner of the stadium. Our colors are orange and black, right? Orange and black, just going crazy. And then the rest of the stadium, red, white, and black. Their school colors are red and white, and the black is their fucking gaping fucking pie holes. Oh, fuck yes! Now, later that night, my little brother, who went to OU, says to me, I don't understand why you wouldn't want us to win. When we're national champions, it's good for your school too. Your school gets money too. I don't understand why you wouldn't want us to win. And I am dumb fucking founded by the level of arrogance fucking display. Like, I hate your fucking guts. That's why. Fuck the Sooners. Fuck them all to hell. Like, if I had to choose between losing every single fucking game the whole season but beating OU, man, that seems pretty demoralizing for our team. So I probably wouldn't choose it, but goddamn, I'd think about it. I hate you motherfuckers so much. I want you fuckers. I know you're the same state as me, but I want you to lose every single fucking game you play. Fuck you.
Is that the logo?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Well, so I bought this at TJ Maxx, and because I won.
The Cowboys beat the Sooners. Right on Cowboys, right down the field. fight, 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 fight. Fight on, Cowboys, and never yield. Ride, 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 ride. Fight on, Cowboys. Victory, cross, so use goal, and we'll shout Oklahoma State. Huh. Go, 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 Poach, go, Poach, go, Poach, go. Beat the fucking Sooners. Yes.
Johnny, this beats Fabio, dude.
That's my boy. My fucking boy right there.
Well, so I didn't even know what this was. I was at my son's basketball game, and the guy sitting next to me, he's like, "Oh, you an OSU fan, huh?" And I'm like, "I don't even know what this is, dude. This was like 50 cents at TJ Maxx."
Ow, fuck that hurts.
But it was prophecy.
It's prophecy, baby. The Lord fucking moves in mysterious ways.
For this podcast.
I'm telling you, baby. Go Cowboys. So look. Fast forward, okay? The year is 2014. Mm-hmm. The most important sporting event known human fucking history, Bedlam fucking football. Now, we've got a better coach. We've got a better team. But OU is still real fucking tough. Their recruiting is gnarly. They got some good fucking players. It's fourth quarter, about 7 minutes left. We're down by 2 touchdowns. We drive and hammer and hammer and hammer and hammer. And we score a touchdown. So we're down by 1 touchdown, but there's only like a minute left. That one drive took us like 5 fucking minutes. And they've got our number because our air attack is gnarly, but if you can shut our air attack down, ooh, it's not good for us at all. Because we are a fucking passing team. Fuck. We got like a minute and a half left. And they've got the ball, and we're down by a touchdown. Shit. Well, we stick them. 3 and out. Fuck yeah. So they got to kick it. They kick it, and they shanked it. They fucked up the kick. If they kick it, it's not very long, you know. But there's only like a minute left. And we're still going to have to go 65 fucking yards. There's no way you can do it. But I'm like, oh, give us a fucking chance. And then, chirp, foul. Got to kick it again. Oh, my fucking God. Ha, 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 ha. We got a chance. Because we can run it back. Holy shit. Bob Stoops, ha, 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 chooses to kick it again. What he forgot was our kick return was a guy named Tyreek Hill, who was the fastest fucking kid in the NC double fucking A. He was a high school state track star. If you get a chance, go the fuck watch the footage of this shit. Goddamn, I'm like, oh my God. He's kicking it to Tyreek Hill. Oh my God. Fucking kicks it. Just buries it. And later on, I read an interview, and Stoops was like, I just figured I'd burn 10 seconds. Good job, Bob. Fucking amazing. Tyreek catches it. He steps, cuts, bam! He is gone. He's so 10, 15, 5, 10 touchdowns. Pistols firing. Sooners. Or not Sooners, Cowboys. We tie it. We go in overtime. We kick a fucking field goal and win. God damn, it was great. It was great. Oh, my God, I love beating the Sooners so fucking much. Now, I told you all these stories to tell you this. I'm from Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is tornado country. And if you go through any neighborhood, there'll be Sooners fans, and there'll be Cowboy fans. But we're all Okies. And when a tornado comes through and wipes out somebody's fucking house, there ain't none of that shit. There's no fucking Sooners. And there's no fucking Cowboys. We're Okies. And we're out in the fucking street. And we're out. Hey, where's Steve? Where's Letitia? Where's Jane? Where are the kids? Where's the dog? Get the family Bible. Put some fucking hot water on. Get some fucking blankets. Let's fucking do this. Is anybody injured? Call a fucking ambulance. Let's get on this shit because God damn it. We are Okies. We are fucking tornado people. We are Americans. Mm-hmm. And we have fucking forgot gotten that. And fuck that. I aim to fucking remind folks. And that, gentlemen, is what I want to say.
That's heavy, dude. That's fucking awesome. And I hear you. And I'm so stoked, dude, that you were able to share this passion that you have and these stories and make the time to come on our shit, dude. It was
Thanks,
super.
man.
Yeah, thank you for your perspective on that, Dave.
Yeah, it's fucking killer. And I actually, man, I have a lot of family in Oklahoma as well.
Okay.
In Adair, Oklahoma.
Oh, sure.
And they're all about family.
Yeah.
And some of my favorite, I come from a BMX background. My friend Matt Hoffman, who's one of the most legendary BMX riders on the fucking planet.
I used to work for his dad.
You did? Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like a construction company guy.
Medical equipment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what it was. I knew he did something like that. Yeah. Because Matt Hoffman, when I went to his house in 92 for the first time, he had an indoor half pipe in the building that his dad stored some of his shit or whatever.
That's the building.
They had to make the building taller because fucking Matt Hoffman was going super fucking high on the ramp. So
I lived in that building for 6 months.
Really? Where the fucking ramp is? Wow. What year?
The ramp wasn't there anymore because this was 2000. This was 2001.
Okay, so it was after, like, so it was 92. It was like probably 1990 to 1995 or some shit that he had that ramp.
I was in that building watching the towers fall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Small fucking world, dude.
It's crazy, right? Crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
And now we'll take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors.
Summer is in full action, and we are thankful for our sponsor today, Manscaped, for keeping us fresh. Sun's out, bums out. That's right, we're talking butts. And hopefully not your pubes are out. Manscaped offers all the right tools to keep your hair groomed above and below the belt. Oh my God, I was at the pool the other day, and there was one of the moms nearby, and she walked by, very friendly lady, and I'm just staring at what appears to be Chewbacca and a headlock on each side of her thighs. Like I think Kurt Angle had the scissor hold around Chewie there, and I was like, oh my God, you need to learn about Manscaped. Why is that? Because Manscaped is dedicated to helping you level up your full body grooming game. They actually just released their Shears 2.0 nail kit, which is the perfect add-on to their Lawnmower 3.0 or Perfect package. The Shears 2.0 is a luxury 4-piece nail kit featuring tempered stainless steel tools, and it includes slashed, tipped tweezers, rounded point scissors, fingernail clippers, and a medium grit nail file. You're probably wearing flip-flops. Boom, take a look right here as we speak, and people don't want to see those nasty unclipped toes of yours. No one likes an ungroomed set of feet, fingers, and most importantly, balls. That's why they have forever changed the grooming game with their Perfect Package 3.0. Tell them, Zach.
The Perfect Package 3.0 kit comes with the essential Lawnmower 3.0 water-resistant cordless body trimmer and a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your manscaping routine. This is the best trimmer on the market for those of you in need of a chest shave or a ball cleanup. The third-generation trimmer features skin-safe technology to reduce manscaping accidents. Inside the Perfect Package, you'll also find the Manscaped Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer, because we know how painful chafing can be when you're wearing your bathing suit all day. Yeah. You'll also find the Crop Reviver, a testy toner that's designed to give you a pep in your step. Subscribe to the Perfect Package and get a new blade refill for your lawnmower trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months. For a limited time, subscribers will also get 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, a $39 value add, and the patented high-performance, reduced-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. And let me tell you, they're comfortable as hell. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job.
That's right. Get 20% off and free shipping with code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. That's manscaped.com. Use promo code SURVIVOR. Summer is here. It's time to manscape. Summer's here. It's crazy hot outside. We all know that you should drink more water. And by the time you feel thirsty, it's too late. You're already dehydrated. You can't focus and you feel tired.
Drinking enough water is critical for a healthy lifestyle. It increases your brain power and boosts your productivity. It prevents headaches and increases your total focus. Not only that, it improves your skin and mood. It helps your digestion and it gives you energy. It prevents bad breath and can even help you lose weight.
Holy moly, this is the dating cure of if I've ever heard of one. But how much water should you drink each day? 10 cups, a gallon? The good news is it doesn't have to be that complicated. And that's why I start my day with Hydrant, because Hydrant helps you hydrate faster.
What is Hydrant? Well, they've created a refreshing electrolyte powder that you mix directly into water to more efficiently and effectively hydrate your body. It hydrates you quickly and keeps you going for longer.
Each rapid hydration mix has the 4 essential electrolytes your body needs: sodium, potassium, magnesium, and zinc. And it packs a punch to help your body hydrate fast and stay hydrated.
And if you're looking for that extra boost of energy, there's also Hydrant Plus Caffeine, which contains 100 milligrams of caffeine, all from green tea.
And Hydrant is backed by research. The formula was developed by an Oxford scientist. It's also loved by pro athletes like yourself, Johnny Fairplay. Oh yeah, did I mention first place in the men's masters in my last 10K? That's right, thanks to Hydrant. Top performers, celebrities, and thousands of 5-star reviews.
It's made with real fruit juice powder. It's delicious and refreshing and comes in a wide variety of flavors, including new summer-friendly iced tea lemonade and fruit punch.
I'm loving the fruit punch, but I go back to the blood orange. That's my favorite. And winning a 10K thanks to Hydrant is all the proof I need.
Not only that, though, it's also backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you don't love it, send it back for a full refund.
You really need to try it for yourself to see what I'm talking about. It tastes incredible and it works.
Hydrant starts at just $1 a packet for a 30-day supply, and you can save even more with the monthly subscription. But Johnny, tell them what kind of special offers we've got for them.
We got a special deal for our listeners right now. Save 25% off your first order. Huge, 25%. Go to drinkhydrant.com/survivor and enter our promo code SURVIVOR at checkout.
That's drinkhydrant.com/survivor and enter promo code SURVIVOR for 25% off your first order.
drinkhydrant.com/survivor, enter promo code SURVIVOR to save 25%, and we thank them for sponsoring the Survivor NSFW podcast. Guys, remember the days when you were always ready to go? Oh man, do I. I've been taking 4 or 5 Blue Chews just to get up in the morning. I use it. Remember when what's it called on a bike? The kickstand? Mm-hmm. I have my own kickstand thanks to Blue Chew. Thanks, guys. Well, you at home can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed just like me. Listen up. Blue Chew, BLUECHEW.com. That's blue like the color blue.
Blue Chew brings you guys the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know they work. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises. If you could benefit from extra function and more confidence where it counts in the wiener area, Blue Chew is a fast and easy way to enhance your performance. And Blue Chew is prescribed online, shipped straight to your door in a discreet package, so no in-person doctor visits, no waiting in the pharmacy, and best of all, no more awkwardness.
They're made in the USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy. Right now, we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use our promo code SURVIVOR. Just pay $5 shipping. Again, that's BLUE chew.com, promo code SURVIVOR, and you can try it completely for free. Just pay for shipping. Blue Chew's the better, cheaper, fastest choice, and we thank them for sponsoring the podcast.
Man, these guys are great. BlueChew.com. It's kind of like a Hurt Peter. They're hard to beat.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to have you on again in the future too, Dave.
Hey, man, I don't know if I got any more stories, man. I'm probably
I don't care about stories. I don't care.
You a lie. You got so many. I know. I told Zach and Matt, I come there and just like, I'm bringing my good friend Danger Dave on, and Dave has not watched Survivor since he was on Survivor, like for a second, but otherwise, not. I was like, I guarantee we're gonna have some fun and get ready and buckle up. And was that
Surprise!
The appropriate?
You're a liar. You lied.
I love it. Well, I want to hear more like about your music background. I know you were playing guitar, so we'll definitely have to catch up, man. And fucking.
Hey, man.
Where can everybody find you, Dave, on social media?
Danger Dave Ball on Twitter. I've got my Facebook and my Insta on lockdown, so fuck right off. My Twitch, I want to start kind of doing like the things I was talking about today. I want to talk about that more and do it on Twitch. Okay. And so it's kind of a gaming streaming kind of a platform, but I kind of wanted to start doing that. So my Twitch handle, which I have not got any, I have no idea how to work all that tech bullshit and everything like that. But my Twitch handle is Dave_Ball. But I think that's it. I deleted TikTok. Yo, party people, delete TikTok. I'm not shitting you.
I don't have TikTok.
Good, don't. It's gnarly Chinese malware. It's they have apparently it can insert a zip file and then unzip it on your device. That's fucking insane. So yeah, delete TikTok, party people. I'm not shitting. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Words of wisdom from Danger Day.
Yeah, what can I say? Thanks for having me on, boys. Had a good time.
Thank you, Dave. This was incredible.
Yeah, and everyone, if you'd like to support the podcast, of course, check out our website, SurvivorNSFW.com. You have the video and audio links to every podcast that we do there. In addition, become a patron. That's an easy link now. Go to adfreeNSFW.com. Once again, that's adfreeNSFW.com. I did declare on social media, if we get, we have 111 patrons. We hit 200. I'm getting Matt Bischoff's face tattooed on my body. I think that's pretty.
Now, let just peek behind the curtain. I did not agree. We have not discussed this.
Nipples pierced.
But I love it. So go Patreon and check out all the cool shirts, including the coital stimulation shirt. With
we have the new shirt. Coital stimulation.
Whoa.
That's a capital NSFW.
I didn't sign up for this bullshit. Yeah. People are weirdos. A bunch of fucking weirdos.
They are. So, thank you guys very much.
Yeah. So adfreeNSFW.com. Try it for a month. And Danger Dave, wow. I knew you'd deliver, and you do not disappoint.
Thanks, boys.
Cheers, man, and see you guys next week on our show. Later.